Yeah, my name's Dave Goldberg. I am the Director of Growth Marketing at FormAssembly. People always ask, what do we do? We build forms, obviously, but it's certainly more than that. We provide a data collection platform so our customers can collect, connect, and secure their data with ease. Everybody uses forms. All types of businesses, verticals, and industries uses forms. So, again, we try to provide our goal is to provide the right solutions for our customers within their verticals. And, again, a big part of that is the user experience and the ease and being able to them to create great user experiences. But also on the back end too, making sure that the right security and compliance is in place as well too. So, it was good to kind of get my foot in the door with the DemandScience team and start, looking at these content syndication programs. And like I said, I've worked with content syndication vendors in the past. I think one of the things that I noticed off the bat where I decided to continue the relationship was really the service and the relationships that I felt that in a lot of my initial conversations and where things were headed, that the team at DemandScience and our various people between our account managers and people on the execution side and people leading the charge in different business areas, everybody was very receptive and really wanted to partner and help us get the best results. And that's something that's absolutely mission critical for me. I think there's this notion of when you work with outside vendors that they work for you. We tell you guys what to do or dictate, and that's it. And and I'm sure we've all been there, especially as I've been on the agency side. There can be a little of that tension. Working not just here in other companies, content syndication is really difficult. In terms of, these are people that are interacting with our content, but they're still, they're searching, they might have a problem, they're doing some research, but they don't necessarily know who FormAssembly is. So there can be a little bit of that disconnect. You can't just come at people in one direction. And so so with that, it was kind of the light bulb was going off in my head of what, there's always been this challenge of getting people to convert via content syndication. And I think that's when Christian came in the mix of hey, we have this display offering. And I was like, it'd be cool. Why don't we retarget some of these people that we have in content syndication with some display ads? And within the certain segments, okay, if we're going after these people, maybe they'll get demo ads and we can get them to bite on a demo. Or maybe we'll show this audience different forms of content. And so I think in this day and age, obviously this concept of there's so much noise out there, there's so much stuff on the internet, you have to surround the buyers, in a lot of ways, it's display has always been a tricky thing. And actually with DemandScience has kind of changed my opinion of it a little bit where, again, doing demand gen, you're very tied to how many leads is this bringing in? What are we getting from this? And I will say, typically speaking, I've always never been that bullish on display because it gets very expensive and you don't see clicks, you don't see results. But as we were kind of building out the programs and with the display stuff, it kind of dawned on me. I said, it's okay. We don't necessarily, yes, we want clicks, we want conversions, but it's okay. I'm okay with taking this approach because it's like driving down the highway. Let's just show these people some billboards about FormAssembly and what we're doing as they're getting content syndication. So hopefully the light bulb goes out and they're like, oh yeah, I downloaded this and then I was seeing your ads. Maybe I'll go to their website. Maybe I'll go to learn more. So it was where things started expanded as I was digging more into the growth marketing side. FormAssembly was, how do we connect the dots and really try to create a buyer journey? DemandScience has truly become a Swiss Army knife for us. We started with content syndication, we layered on the display ABM advertising, and now the final piece that we've been using recently is the account intelligence and the intent data through Clarity. How have we been using that and how has that been helping us? In multiple ways. One, I'm using that and working with the growth marketing team as we're designing campaigns and different things to run through content syndication and display to figure out some of the different audiences and segments that we want to target. And where I really like using it is oftentimes when you're dealing with content syndication vendors, you're relaying information back and forth via email, which is certainly one way to do it. And we've done with the Demand Science team in the past. However, I like to be hands-on. I like to be in the system, seeing what buttons can I click, what different segmentations can I find, how do I layer on intent data with what's their install tech that they're using. So, we can look at some of the other technology they're using, their expiring contracts, all sorts of things. So really, it just gives us tons of options and a way for us to design campaigns. So that's where the account intelligence has been great. But then there's another use that we have for it. We're also using it to build our database. So like I said, I love being hands-on in Clarity Engine and figuring out where are some of the gaps are in our database, what types of stuff could we engage these people with. So we're actually building audiences within our Clarity Engine, and then we're exporting them into our database. And we're doing, some warm-up emails, some things just to break the ice with them. And, everything takes time, and that's how we've designed it. Pipeline doesn't grow overnight. And at the end of the day, it's not just pipeline, we're building relationships with these prospects and customers, and it takes time. So, using Clarity Engine to use the account intelligence and some of the intent stuff to build out specific lists, import them over, start warming up these audiences with relevant content and get them to nurture. So down the line, we're going to get them, further into, hopefully in some sales processes and some sales funnels. And that means like we can really hone in on our segments, our buyers, and our ICPs that I want to help us build out the database that really matches and aligns with our business goals. And all three of these tools in conjunction, working together, has really helped me out and been great for FormAssembly. My absolute favorite thing about working with Demand Science is the customer service and the people. By having the right partners in place that are trying to help us grow our business and hit our goals on the growth marketing side, that's what we need to be successful. And without the right people and a team that cares, you can't be successful. So shout out to the Demand Science team and their customer service for being top notch. One example of that I'd like to give is, as I've been trying to figure out ways to expand our different programs, we've been very focused on content syndication. However, I was trying to find ways to get some more intel and some more information over to the SDRs. So we actually recently piloted the Pure Push campaign, which gave us the opportunity to not only target the leads we want, to ask specific BANT questions in order to equip our team with intel. So when they get up to bat and they're talking to these people, they have the information they need, the targeting, and everything in place. Because my goal is to lay everything out to help make the SDRs as successful as possible. So Pure Push wasn't something I was aware of. And then when it was introduced to me by the account manager, I realized, hey, we got to try that out. And, it's been great to see and watch our SDRs get excited over those leads. We saw great results with our ABM display. We had 23% account engagement, which was 38% above benchmark. If you told me I was going to get that out of a display campaign, I wouldn't have believed you, but we did. And I'm excited to keep using it and take those up a notch.